Good evening, everyone, and I welcome you all on behalf of the Bombay Catholic Sabha. My name is Bento Loba. I am the Vice President of the Bombay Catholic Sabha in charge of the Membership and Environment Forum. What is important topic today? South Mumbai flooding and global warming. Now, environment has always been very close to my heart. And of course, Bombay Catholic Sabha having a forum will definitely see towards that we create a better environment and help in saving our environment also. We have got good speaker with us who will go ahead and explain in detail about this topic. We first welcome our president of the Bombay Catholic Sabha, Advocate Rafael D'Souza, to say a few words. Let us welcome Advocate Rafael D'Souza.
Bento, are we starting with the anthem?
Every Christian has a call to take a hand, take a stand, to fight for justice in our land. The Sabbath gives you the call to commit, to grow, to rise to the fore, to plan the future, to open new dawn. The Sabbath, you have a voice. The Sabbath, you have a choice. The peace and faith to make this world a better place. Politics and health, education of health, a world that's clean, a world that's free. The Sabbath will shape our dream. This people's heart is a new beyond. To renew our vision, fulfill our vision. With the faith of St. Paul, in Christ to Israel his son. With the Sabbath, you have a word. In the Sabbath, you have a choice. The busiest extra race make this world a better place. We have a destiny with faith. We'll reach the triumph of love over hate. The Sabbath shows the way. Committed to a better tomorrow today.
Mr. Girish Raut, the key speaker for today's webinar, the principal office bearers of the Bombay Catholic Sabha, the Vice President in charge of Membership and Environment Forum, especially Mr. Bento Lobo and your team, the Executive Committee members of the Bombay Catholic Sabha, the invited guests for this webinar, and my dear friends. Just now we heard the anthem of the Bombay Catholic Sabha. To build a better tomorrow today is our commitment. And our commitment to build a better tomorrow today is with a world that is clean and a world that is green. However, presently what we are witnessing is not a happy place that perhaps we would leave behind in case we do not take care of the environment. our Holy Father, Pope Francis, speaking on the heads of religious organizations, had to say this: the earth is protesting for the wrong that we have doing to the earth because of the irresponsible use and abuse of the goods that God has placed on earth. A very important statement for us to ponder upon to make this world a better place to live in. He further says and calls us, let us be the protectors of creation, protectors of God's plan inscribed in nature, protectors of one another and the environment. Bombay Catholic Sabha, an organization of over 62,000 members in the city of Mumbai and around, has its vision to create a just society, to involvement in socio-civic and political affairs. And environment is one of the concerns that affects not only to the society as such, but we as an NGO are concerned that we leave behind a better place for our future children. I'm very happy that the Environment Forum of the Bombay Catholic Sabha has chosen this subject on environment and global warming with specific reference that we had the South Mumbai flooding recently. I'm told Mr. Girish Rawat, who is an expert on the subject, is going to enlighten us. But his words of enlightenment, my dear friends, will fructify only when we listen to him, take his message, and do our bit for the protection of the environment so that the issue of global warming and flooding in the city of Mumbai is properly addressed. I invite all of you to listen carefully to Dr. Girish Rawat and seek answers to your questions that you have and go back with the knowledge that you are a part of the environment and all of us have a responsibility to contribute for the protection of the environment. With this, I welcome you all once again and hand over the mic back to Bento for further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate, for your kind and motivational words. We'll take the webinar forward. Before we could start and I could introduce and let the speaker speak, there are some guidelines I think which we need to follow. I would request the participants to mute themselves so that during the course of the presentation there is no disturbance. Secondly, if you definitely have any questions, you can put it in the chat box down. Okay. So at the end of the webinar, you'll see that Advocate Girish Rawat, Dr. Girish Rawat will definitely answer all your questions, and plus we will share his number and email ID also if you have further on request to speak to him. So with these guidelines, I would like to invite Advocate Girish Rawat. Before I could invite, I'll just give you a brief introduction about himself. While his profile is quite big and long, which he has done many things over the past 30 plus years, I'll just give it in brief. Advocate Girish Rawat is a noted environmentalist, has worked as a secretary of Shivaji Park Dakshata Samiti for 30 years. Mumbai's grounds were saved from the removal, reservation, construction activities and the changes in the law. Created awareness among villagers of Nanar and surrounding villages of Ratnagiri to stop the world's biggest refinery as the Paris Agreement of United Nations Organization, warned against the addition of carbon in the atmosphere to save mankind from global warming. He has written many books and articles. Among his recent book is which is in Hindi, Vinash Ki Dahliz Par, has been translated in Marathi. It is in Marathi and English as well. He acknowledged the fact that Mumbai will be submerged due to heavy rains or cyclone as a result of global warming. He started a campaign to stop filling up of Miti River and sea and stop the reclamation work of Bandra Worli Sea Link, which saved Mumbai from complete destruction on 26 July 2005. He organized awareness drives and protests about radiation of Jaipur Atomic Energy Project and organized agitation against the project. Stop filling up of Sea Link, saved mangroves forests in the Maim Creek, introduced Miti River to the people, worked to stop the construction of port called Vadavan in Danu, which would have displaced 47 villages and hundreds of hamlets in Danu. Got the privatization of Are Hospital in National Park Forest, cancelled 12 acres of forest from destruction. From the year 2007, started natural farming called Rishi Krushi in Dhanu, planted and nurtured thousands of trees in the last 45 years, presently working on promoting energy-free living, growing food from natural, organic or traditional farming, clothing by spinning wheel and handloom, and mud and bamboo houses. He has worked in all spheres of life. So let us welcome Dr. Girish Raut.
Good evening, namaste to all. The Sermon on the Mount, God, Jesus says, मी मराठीतून सांगतो त्याचं कारण मला खूप लोकांनी असं सांगितलं की तुम्ही मराठीतून पण बोला. ज्याने चोच दिली तो चारा पण देतो. तू उद्याची चिंता कशाला करतोस? Sermon on the Mount says, why do you worry about tomorrow? God will take care of your food. And it was true for years. God had taken care. But we are disturbed. God's creation earth. And what we will face, we are going to see during this lecture. Can you listen, Bento? Bento,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can listen.
can you hear?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now, to begin with,
गिरीशी थोडे जवळ जवळ येऊन जरा बोला ना. थोडं जवळ येऊन बोला. हा.
अच्छा. पोर आहे तिथे येते की हे पोर आहे म्हणून. You see, we'll go to South Bombay flooding. Recently experienced. I will request Bento to show the video of the senior most veteran leader of Maharashtra.
है ना ओ हो माय गॉड हे तर फारच तुंबलंय इथे हो हळू 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 उडेल पाणी हो वाहतंय हो ओ बापरे हे समुद्र झाल्यासारखंच झालं इथे हळू 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 हा समोर पण पाणी हो. जाऊ दे आता अनबिलिव्हेबल इतक्या वर्षात एवढा आपण पावसात कधी इथे असं पाणी तुंबलेलं तर कधीच नाही आपण
पहिल्यांदा आयुष्यात वाचली.
या भागात पाणी ना
This video, Supriya ji is saying that Samudrat Jhalai. The ocean has come on land, intruded, and Mr. Sharad Pawar is saying that he looks into now. He is totally surprised to see over there. See, he has seen Mumbai for more than 60 years. He is saying, I am seeing the first time that Bombay is getting flooded. We will see what is the dangerous thing about this flooding. We will just see three small videos of Girgaon Chowpatty, which is about 3 to 4 kilometers from Mantralaya. Small videos of short period, but it is important to note something.
बाबुलनाथ पूरा भरा हुआ है पानी से। बाबुलनाथ, ये बाबुलनाथ मंदिर। ओम नमः शिवाय।
Of Mumbai. The map showing how the original islands and the sea reclaimed in the last 250 years. See this map and you will find that the blue colored islands, 7 islands of from Kulaba to Mindsayan are seen. And the gray color is the reclamation done up to 1900. It is 120 years back. And the yellow reclamation is in 20th century. Gray is up to 1900. Now you can see that how we have encroached upon sea, creeks, and it's a surprise if Bombay will not flood. You see, there are original photographs of Mumbai. We'll just go and see certain photographs. How concretization has taken place. See, this is photograph of Bandra Kurla complex in 1975 by military photographer Mr. Purush Bhavkar. See, we can see on the right end in that photograph the Mithi river flowing in zigzag way and reclaimed after 1980 and particularly between 94 and 96. That part is reclaimed, which is encircled by red color, and theory about that later. Part is not seen, it is BKC G. Next photo. Better next photo. See, in E block of BKC, this is photo from showing from Mime Causeway to Bandra Land's End. The original mangroves can be seen in dark color, black color, and the curve on the right side, the 1965 reclamation and 1984 reclamations are seen, and what we see is now reclaimed after 98, 99 by Pantavari sealing. Unnecessary when there was no necessity, they are reclaimed this sea, very crucial part, highly sensitive, the rare category of 1.1 in CRZ. You can see that part is not seen now, to be seen now, it is under reclamation. Third photograph. See, this is E block of Bandra Kurla complex. Now you can see family court and many offices on this part. Office is very near to it on the original course of Mithi river, and this whole mangroves are not now. You see about 1,000 acres of mangrove creek area, estuary part, along with about 750 acres of mangroves is reclaimed under Bandra Kurla complex. you see the actual plan. That plan, we can see this plan of official plan of MMRDA. You can see from above the Mithi River is coming down, flowing through G block area, and now it is totally reclaimed, and National Stock Exchange is standing on the original course of Mithi River. On left side you can see Wakola Nala, which is a tributary of Mithi River, joining it inside the estuary. Now left part is also reclaimed near Teachers Colony by Metro 3 Underground Railway BKC station. About more than half a kilometer or say 1 kilometer stretch is reclaimed. We'll see in the next photograph. Bento. Now you see, this is the photograph. Bento जरा बड़ा कर सकते हैं so that people can read. That one, yes. See, this photograph is taken from east, and that time Taj Hotel is seen, Gateway of India area is seen, but the important thing is on west side, there was used Chowpatty. Marine Drive was not there, the sea was not filled, just open reclamation, and see the narrow strip of 4 lanes. See, it is of 1910. See next photograph. Bento, why I am showing you those old photographs, because we can see what we have done to stormwater drain system assumptions, sewage systems assumptions. Now you can see Dhobi Talao. There were hundreds of lakes, talaws in Mumbai. This Dhobi Talao opposite metro is not seen now, but this is old photograph showing Dhobi Talao. Next photograph. Next photograph, Bento. These, see those lakes were accommodating water. Percolation was continuously taking place, so floods were not there. Now you see Harniman Circle, which is now there. See all the areas of mud, soil, absorbing rainwater. No floods. After which you say Mumbai, call Mumbai Boa Vida, means happy, pleasant life. The maximum temperature of Mumbai never went up of 25 degrees centigrade. 23 was the highest temperature. So most suitable for Europeans. Cool place, pleasant place. See next photograph. You can see every photograph you can see on the background there are hills, mountains. Every photograph. Now we will see on above, enlarge करना बेटो, लोगों को देखने दो. लकड़ी बंदर called गिरगांव चौपाटी area. वो पहले दिखाना जो दिखाया था. See, show that thing, that upper part. That same thing, because Girgaon Chowpatty, very important thing. No, not this. Not this. That two photographs on same page. Yes. You see on there is Girgaon Chowpatty seen here. At bullock carts carrying logs, wood, and the ships in the water. It was called Lakdi Bandar. Then, now see the beneath one window. You see Marine Drive. So beautiful. It was not necessary to go to any place for scenic beauty, for tourism. Now see the mountains in the photograph of Marine Drive. You cannot see now. See the flora, fauna. Now, photograph is taken from Malabar Hill. See, can you say that Queen's Necklace is more beautiful than this place, the original Marine Drive? No, we cannot. Now you see next photograph. Cathedral in 1864. This in Fort area. You can see there is ground everywhere, there is mud, soil, no concretization at all. So the rainwater was absorbed by soil. And the 64 development plan assumption is that 1964 BMC's first development plan came. The assumption is that half of the rainfall will be absorbed by soil. And 91 study of, or say report of corporation says almost all the areas of Mumbai are concretized. So no absorption is there. 100% water is flowing about the concrete surface. So naturally there will be floods. Now you see next photograph. No, not this will be after. In between there are some photographs, I think. These. More. Okay. See, there are many photographs in last 150 years. We can easily see that and it is registered that 34 mountains or hills were demolished, destroyed in this process of development of Mumbai. The first reclamation is between Girgaon Island, that is Malabar Hill, Girgaon Island and Worli Island. In 1784, first reclamation took place. Now, in all those reclamations, that up till now 34 small mountains, hills are demolished. The stones, mud, everything is put in sea. The creeks, estuaries, sea is filled by this material. Now, you can just imagine the rainwater absorbed by those mountains. All the mountains were covered by thick forest. Our gazetteer before 130 years describes the bird tigers were there, Dhania Park. There were hundreds of creatures which we call now on earth, they are rare species, endangered species or rare species, which were freely moving in Mumbai geographical area. So Portuguese called it Boa Vida. Now, you see the mountains broken, put in the sea. Naturally, the sea water dissipated, where it will go. There is a pressure created in sea. Engineers think that the water finds its level and it will move up to Antarctica and will be in a level. It is not true. The attraction of moon cools the water, and so there are tides. In 24 hours, there are 2 tides and 2 ebbs. When there is a tide, the water enters into the land for 10, 20, 30 kilometers. Time. The rainwater discharge is not possible by the stormwater drain outlets. So, after 1940, when finally the stormwater drain system was created, that the outlets were at a certain distance from the high tide line. And after that, each and every reclamation has disturbed that equation. The reclamations which took place were done before 1940 were also wrong from many aspects, biological aspects, from fisher folks, indigenous peoples aspect, they were all wrong, depriving them from their livelihood, destroying their lifestyle, their way of living, their culture. Almost all the Koliwadas were thrown away. They are now surrounded by concrete jungle like Sayan Koliwada or say Kolivari village and many other, Masgaon and many others. Now you see, when the stormwater from the discharge is not possible, you can clearly see, you stand over at Dadar Chowpatty, and after BKC and particularly after this Bandra-Baradi ceiling reclamation, you can see the sea is intruding through the stormwater drain system. It is moving up to 2 or 2.5 kilometers inside. So the Tansa line corroded near Elphiston station because saline water intrusion. Now, in this situation, when the total discharge is not possible, pump is certainly flood, and the pumping will not do anything, will not purpose. You can see easily. You have seen in Girgaon Chowpatty or everywhere near Mantralaya, the same level is there. How you will lift the water by pumps, and where you will put that water when the level is same? This is not a case of West Coast, but from East Coast the same thing is happening. Many drains are pouring water in the East Coast. Same thing is happening. You can see the original reclamations of how Mumbai is reclaimed from east side also. So now water discharge is impossible. And in this situation, they are going for coastal road, massive reclamation. The whole road is on reclamation. Now there are arguments, quarrels and everything. But what will happen when they will move to suburbs? In 35.5 kilometer length, it is going to destroy the mangroves of suburbs. They have put on their own report that 5.5 kilometer length mangroves will be buried. It is actually more than that. And once that thing happens, then it will start a vicious cycle, and all the remaining chowpatties which are now available in Manori, Gorai will be totally destroyed, wiped out. This will have immediate effect up to Virar, further to Virar, up to Palghar. Because just Bandra-Baradi ceiling reclamation has impacted up to Gorai. 60 to 80 feet sand is eroded and the chowpatty is removed. You can easily see that after Bandra-Baradi ceiling reclamation, Prabhadevi, Dadar, Shivaji Park, Mahim and Warsaw chowpatties are gone. What people don't realize is that the water is smashing their buildings, but it is intruding through the stormwater drains and through the soil. It is damaging the foundations of Mumbai's buildings. Now, we will go to the root of the thing. See, those reclamations continued. We have seen the recent reclamations of Coastal Road. Even now, we will see why it happened. Because now there is a threat of global warming. And all these developments, so-called development of Mumbai, financial capital of India, an industry hub of India, the cities like Mumbai and the economy, which was not there, never there on farming era, is playing a role for 250 years, which has led to global warming. Now you see why it happened. See, in 1756, the first machine appeared on Earth, James Watt steam engine, and the whole production system changed. Massive production of goods, articles was possible. Massive movement was possible. And because of this machine, three things happened. Fossil fuels were extracted from the womb of Earth. Second thing is minerals were needed because crores of goods were manufactured. So there were there for minerals, and all the mountains started disappearing. As soon as they disappear, water holding capacity is gone, jungles are gone, so flooding is there. This whole process of machine, automatic machine, now you can see 200 cars are running on Earth. See, cement is manufactured, lakhs of tons of cement in each country every year is manufacturing. Thermal power stations are working, refineries are working, 8 to 9 crore tons of crude oil is extracted from Earth.
The speaker there?
Hello.
Yeah, network problem. Beta.
I think he has got a network problem. Yes.
It shows as a network problem from his end.
Yeah.
Level.
Yeah, it's come.
And what they have experienced.
Go ahead, Mr. Rawat.
हॅलो हा चालू करा व्हिडिओ चालू करा ना ऑडिओ हा चालू करा ना ऑडिओ व्हिडिओ
Audio is on, the video is gone.
Back. Sure, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. Put your video on. There's some connectivity issue. Just a
I think he went out. Phone him up.
लवकर करा ना डिले चालू आहे सेमिनार लवकर करा हो no, there was some technical issue. Is joining back 1 minute.
Okay.
हाँ.
तुम्ही थोडे काय दिसणार आहे?
सुरू केलं. बेंटो
ऐकतात.
Yeah. We can hear you. Continue.
बेंटो
Yeah. We can hear you.
Huh?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Now, see the American experience. The Cornelia Dean has written a book in 1999, Against the Tide, and how America has lost beautiful seashores in this craze of coastal roads. And she has given that sea walls, protection walls, and jetties are of no use. We can see those pages from that book. The book is here with me. Bento, you just show that. See this is the book. मला एकदा दाखवा. Once. No, not this book. It is with me. It is with me. See this book, Against the Tide. And from this book, we will see certain pages against the tide. This is very important because our planners, our engineers are totally ignorant how sea works, how natural phenomena work. They are actually not taught in their colleges. And with full responsibility I am saying this, that even VJTI and all other colleges, they lack the knowledge of earth. It's working. You see, Bento, you show those pages from this book, that erosion. Because now everywhere they are going for protection walls to protect people. In the guise of protecting people, actually people are going to get more and more endangered because of those protection walls. Then local effect and combined effect of global warming. Bento, you show those pages. Smriti, जो दाखव हे
काय झालं?
This is not this is from Leary report. No, this is Hansen's book. This is Hajiali reclamation. No, not this. No.
काय
No.
झालं?
तू थांब तिकडे.
हो मी आहे इकडे. मी सुशीला बोलते.
Not received that papers.
See the walls falling due to erosion. See, I will read from the book. Beto, till that time you find those photographs. See, the author says, if a shoreline is eroding, 1, building a sea wall will destroy the beach. Yes, the wall itself reduces the size of the beach. 2, as water moves in. 3, she has shown it in pictures, one by one. It eventually meets the wall, flooding the beach. Ultimately, wave action undermines the wall, causing it to collapse. Now, she has given, see, how jetties also work and destroy the beaches. One has to read this book. It will give a clear idea that how it is wrong to go for sea walls or protection walls. Now they are going to the same mistake. See, they are going for coastal road, which is itself wrong. You can't go for any reclamation now. Actually, we have to undo the reclamation all over the world. And Western people have realized that. So Netherlands and all other countries, America, USA, they are now undoing the things. They are removing the dams. They are removing the reclamations. And their companies are coming in India and giving advice to our Maharashtra government to go for Coastal Road, to go for Vibrant Megapole. Netherlands companies. This is a mockery. See, they are themselves getting drowned and they are worried about their existence. But the companies are not bothered about that. They are the part of the process after the invention of machine, 1756, and they are part of the process of 1776 wealth of the nations. This economy, which is presently working, which is based on GDP growth, considering GDP growth is the mark of the happiness of people, also their lifestyle, their wealth, everything which is wrong. This book, Wealth of the Nations, is being taught for economy in the world for last after 1776. It is the main book, which is itself wrong. It cannot. It has no idea how earth works, how life works on earth. It is just saying everything about the mass production and the currency, role of currency. It doesn't realize that once you exceed that currency is a medium of exchange, then there will be havoc on earth. But it's a subject of a separate speech. It will take time, so I just not go into that detail. Now you see, the 1784 reclamation is result of these two things: 1756 invention of machine and 1776 this GDP-based economy promoted by Adam Smith. So 1784 reclamation took place and it happened everywhere on earth, in colonies and in European countries, in American countries. Now we will go and see what NIRI, National Environment Engineering and Research Institute says. Bento, you can show that those two satellite imageries. You can show those satellite imageries. We will read the 2-3 lines on that page. They clearly say what is happening. This report is from NIRI, is Bandra Kurla Complex, Mumbai, Maharashtra. NIRI's report. Study was done for the reclamation in G block between 94 and 96. First you show two photographs are there. That another page. No. And see in the beneath, if they can read. See, changes in land cover in mine bay and its surrounding area. Notes, the mangroves in the encircled area have disappeared during 94 and 96. The Mithi River is channelized and land was reclaimed during 94 and 96. The sedition in mine bay has increased during 94 and 96. Now you see that other page. The other page, it clearly says the site for International Finance and Business Center proposed by the MMRDA is in intertidal zone. There are many other built-up areas within intertidal zone. What is the importance of intertidal zone? You can see in conclusion of this report. The site for the ILFS, BKC G block and parts of other blocks are within the intertidal zone, which is in violation of the Coastal Roads Regulations, MOEF, February 1991. They have clearly said. On page number 52, it is clearly said that it is violation of CRZ. The mangroves at the proposed site of BKC Block G were destroyed during 94-96.
The reclamation of wetlands and mangrove swamps in Mithi River estuary would increase the flooding potential in the region, which is already a recurrent annual phenomenon on the Mumbai coastline. See, the report clearly said it is illegal. We have to go beyond what is legal or illegal now, because the courts and the law is not able, will not be sufficient to protect human race and life on earth. Something very serious is happening. Very serious. We will go to the reports. What is happening because of all things, destruction which is there during last 250 years. What is happening on earth? You see, I am showing you certain reports which are at present with me. See, this is World Meteorological Organization May 2015 report. Bento, I will show certain things. You remove that thing, yeah. This is report. See, these are actual reports. These are not comments. Now this report says, May 2015, that we have crossed the 400 ppm mark, that is part per million, 400 part per million on Earth, even on Antarctica. And carbon dioxide increase is 43% compared to the pre-industrial levels. So, after this report, United Nations Organization had called a meeting of all the country leaders, prime ministers, presidents, 196 countries, and Paris Agreement was made. Why? Because 400 ppm level was crucial as far as warming is considered. This is IPCC's, this is UNO's report. You see, on second page, it clearly says, if you want to save human race, you will have to hold 2 degrees centigrade rise in average global temperature. It is clearly saying in this part, you have to hold 2 degrees centigrade rise in average global temperature. See, this is very important because all the so-called scientists are keeping mum. They are not saying anything about what is happening. And our Indian Ministry of Earth Science, first time, Indian department has brought the report on official report on global warming before 3 months. This Ministry of Earth Science has brought the report. But the problem is that the knowledge is like, say, KG or primary level. They are saying that things will become serious in 2100. And so they are saying that we'll go to moon and try to extract minerals by ISRO, and another report of theirs says that we will go deep in the sea by Samudrayan, 6,000 meters, to search, to explore the possibilities of mineral deposits getting out for India's development. You see, it is funny that they don't know what is happening on Earth right now. You see, after the UNO's report, the 2 degree rise is to be held, this report came in 2016. Just next year, the report you can see clearly of World Meteorological Organization. Why I am showing of this organization? Because it is the main representative organization along with others. It has 3,500 to 400 centers registering every minute, every second. They are registering what is happening with Earth's atmosphere, with seasons and everything. Now you see in this graph, it is clearly shown that the global average temperature rise from 2015 first half to 2016 first half is 0.24 degrees centigrade. It is shocking. If you know the science, if you know how Earth works, one cannot be able to get sleep after knowing this fact that in a single year the temperature is going up by 0.24 degrees centigrade. Now this you can calculate it up to 2016. It is written in their report here that up to 2016 the global temperature rise was 1.2 degrees centigrade. Now you calculate what is happening. You see, every year now, the temperature is rising by 0.2 degrees centigrade. Average rise is there of 0.2 degrees centigrade. Here is another report which says Arctic is warming twice as fast as the global average. Now scientists are saying many parts of Arctic are the temperature rise is thrice as fast as the global average. It is clear report saying that it is twice as fast. Now it is thrice as fast. Now see what is going to happen then. It is clear. Every year 0.2 degree rise. See, this is a report again. This report is of November 2016. It is not just subtropical Cornwall. Climate zones everywhere are on the march forward. Again, World Meteorological Organization report. What this report says is very important. They are shown in this graph from equator, North Pole and towards South Pole. What they are saying here is that now the climate zones are shifting 35 miles per year due to unprecedented warming. 35 miles per year. Now everybody has to realize by principle of evolution, no species, visible species, can cope with this fast, rapid rise in temperature. It cannot get adapted to this rise. What happened in 23rd March 2017? This is again a report from same organization. Climate change has pushed Earth into uncharted territory. These are official reports. Why those reports are not given to people, people are not made aware by our media. There are thousands of channels on earth. In India, hundreds of channels, hundreds of newspapers, and these things are not told. People are worried why our department cannot predict the monsoon. It will not be able to predict because they have no knowledge about it. Now, the organization which has knowledge, what it says, you just listen. It wants that we have surpassed our understanding of our changing climate and have stepped into truly uncharted territory. 23rd March is World Weather Day, and see their climate day, and they are saying that we have truly entered into uncharted territory. They have said in this report that now abnormal is new normal. Now you see the final report I am showing. This is very important. On 6 November 2017, UNO had organized special meeting to declare this finding in Bonn, Germany. This report is saying that warming has become irreversible. The temperature will continue to rise, and the trend will be for at least minimum 50 years. Now see, the trend is 0.2 degree rise for a year of average temperature. I was telling right from 15-16 that in 2020 the temperature rise will be of 2 degrees. That means what we have seen in Paris Agreement, that if you want to protect human race, you have to hold 2 degrees centigrade rise is actually taking place in this year. This corona is giving us a message. This is a message from nature, you can say. What you have to do to protect human race and life on earth? You have to stop whatever you are doing which is not agreeable to earth. Simply automatic machine, production of electricity, maybe by dams, maybe by burning coal, and the cement production. 3 main things contributing to 94% of carbon dioxide emission. Carbon dioxide is responsible for 90% of greenhouse effect. Now we can easily see. All else, TV, then washing machine, fridge, I would say mobiles, anything, we can't go for this industrial lifestyle anymore. Now you see, this year, just before a week, NASA has brought this graph paper. It clearly says, Bento, you show that thing on screen also. You can show. Now you see, they have clearly said that 2-degree rise is there. In August, Earth's global average temperature has gone up by 2 degree. 2 degree. Actually, this should be a catch line. This should be told by each and every TV set, every newspaper that our Earth will cross 2 degree limit. But people don't know. People know nothing. And we're going for this coastal road. To promote cars. When we have to discard, we have to throw away cars at this instant if we want to get saved. Why? Because cars are responsible. Bento, remove that thing. Because cars are responsible for 70% carbon dioxide emission on Earth, 40% through its direct outlet of car, and remaining 35% for manufacturing car, excavation of these minerals, transportation, everything, and for cars, you have to build roads using steel and cement. So, car is a monster. Heidelberg University says car is a monster. Germany has become the once upon a time, it is an inventor of, a research country of cars, like Mercedes and Volkswagen and all. They are gone opposite cars. They are made before 2.5 years. They are made all mass transportation bus free. Excellent bus transportation all over Germany, everywhere. And we are demoralizing our best, which is excellent mass transportation we are having today. We are closing it deliberately, privatizing, deliberately selling their lands. It's irony. Our politicians, planners, they are totally ignorant. They know, they lack the vital information. Now you see, it is responsibility of each and every person, each and every citizen, because you breathe, because you drink water, because you consume food and remain alive. No car, no electricity keeps you alive. You have to throw over wrong ideas which are put in our mind by this education for 15 to 20 years. You have to conditioning which is made of our mind. You have to realize what is happening on earth. Now, you see, we'll go and see then what is the solution. The solution lies to get surrendered to earth. We have to obey what earth says, what nature says. If we want to survive, you know, we should not feel shy to go back to farming era. See, farming era is the ultimate solution for whole world to get saved. India has represented excellent farming era. For 10,000 years, Indian farmers were able to get crops in the same patch of field by mixed crop pattern or in rotation. They were able to plow, able to produce food from the same piece by they were running nitrogen cycle. So the importance of mixed crops. And the natural fertilizers which they were preparing and which is admired by Dr. Albert Howard. The scientist who was sent by Britishers to teach Indians chemical farming. But he realized from 1900 to 1905, he moved around India, all over India, and he was, in a true sense, he was a scientist, follower of Copernicus, Bruno Galileo, the tradition up to Einstein. He was not a technical person like James Watt and all that tradition of Edison and all those people who were in technology, technological inventions, they are doing discoveries. There is a difference between science and technology. So the science, Indian farmers were scientists. As rightly said by Mahatma Gandhi, every Indian farmer is a scientist and his field is a laboratory. Now you see, the way of escape is in the same thing. We have to again go to natural farming to produce food. Otherwise, you can see the consequence of global warming. You can see those wildfires, the melting ice from Antarctica, Arctic, and the mountains, and you can see the unseasonal rainfall in Vidarbha, Marathwada, or all the regions all over the world. You can see the heat waves. You can see the droughts everywhere in Africa, everywhere. You can see the jungles in permafrost, permanent frost in Arctic Circle, in Alaska, getting burnt. The jungles on ice are burning. You can see for last 7 years, the California jungles are burning. This year again they are burned. You can see the Australian wildfires. Actually, the whole earth is going to burn. I am not exaggerating anything, a single word. This is going to happen. With this temperature rise of 1 degree average in 5 years, within just 30 years, the human race and life on earth is going to get wiped out. We are facing total extinction. This sixth extinction is the final extinction, and there will not be any life form which is visible. Only microorganisms may survive. But this has never happened on earth. You see, this is the book Songs of My Grandchildren by James Hansen, the ex-director of NASA. What he says, 2009, that we have suppressed the truth that seasons, the cycle of seasons has gone. It is no more there since 1980. And first time, 1960, it was registered that more ice is melting than it is recovered in winter on North Sea. Now you see what he says in 2009, book Songs of My Grandchildren. You see the truth about the coming climate catastrophe and our last chance to save humanity. What he was saying is the decade, forthcoming decade, and that the final year of that decade is 2020, which we are going through. What he was saying is on page number 13. Yes, I will read. Global warming of 2 degrees Celsius, which is happening this year or more, will make Earth as warm as it had been in the Pliocene 3 million years ago, means 30 lakh years ago. Pliocene warmth caused sea levels to be about 25 meters, that is 80 feet higher than they are today. See, the book by NASA Director on Science is saying that from this year we have entered that era and the sea level will be 80 feet higher than what it is. And the threatening thing is that the warming, this pace of warming was not there in history. You see, before 6.5 crore years back, he has given it on 161 page that before 6.5 crore years, 1 ppm, that is 300 crore ton carbon dioxide rise took place in 10,000 years. And you see, he is mentioning in 2009 that in 2009 we were adding 2 ppm, that is 600 600 crore tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere of Earth. And shocking thing is that those who wanted to promote economy which is based on fossil fuel, the quantity of carbon dioxide emitted in 2018-19 figures they are not giving. 2018 is 3,800 crore tons of carbon dioxide. And the addition, if you see that 400 up to 400 crore tons are absorbed by the green matter on Earth, that means 11 ppm rise has taken place in 2018. 11 ppm, that means we are causing more than lakhs of years in one single year on Earth now. So you see what is happening. Yesterday also there was in Mumbai the atmosphere changed. Today also it's a different type of thing. We have never experienced before in October. So the whole seasons, everything is gone. Now if you want to collect it or just have an opportunity to save our voices, the only solution is to go back. And the only solution is with food produced by natural farming, which we are doing it. We are teaching college students, we are taking them to Danu farms, and again we have to realize their basic needs are just food. If you want to say that human being has to wear clothes, then okay, spinning wheel, charka, and handloom, and third one is mud houses, bamboo houses. One will be surprised. Many people say, what you are saying? How is it possible? See, if it is not possible, then you will have to die. Die within few years. If we will do this thing within 2-3 years on Earth, start doing it, then there will be an opportunity for us, human race, to survive. Even opportunity. I am not saying that we will be surviving. No. There will be a ray of hope that we will survive. Otherwise, this extinction will annihilate every life form, every species on Earth. Today, every day, hundreds or maybe thousands of species are getting extinct. Each species has thousands, lakhs or crores of life forms. And every day, hundreds or thousands of species are getting extinct. Only we have to get saved. We have to go to farming era. We can show you how there are houses built before 300, 400 years. Even in Mahim, in Mumbai, there are houses of mud. In Mahim, where I stay, in Dadar, in Bhavani Shankar Road, our close senior citizen, Martal Nagare, her house is of mud. It is 150 years old, nicely built. Like that, there are houses. We can show Bento, just show the houses from Kerala. Bento. Bento. And you show that spinning wheel and handloom. Show the video of spinning wheel and handloom. See my wife, we all know to learn charka. See my wife has learned, because of this warming, she has learned even handloom. She can manufacture clothes. There are centers in Mumbai also. Near Opera House, you can learn handloom in Bunkar Kendra of central government, near opposite Roxy Theatre. And you can go to Mani Bhavan, Gandhi's place in Mumbai, at Nana Chowk, and you can see, you can just on Monday and Friday, they have made arrangement of free learning of charka. You can go and learn spinning wheel. See, everywhere in India, fortunately, still those charka centers and handloom centers are there. See, before 100 years, Mahatma Gandhi brought charka to give livelihood to Indian people, to get themselves emancipated from the slavery. He never hated the Manchester people. He just said that we have to get rid of machine, we have to discard machine. Machine is not suitable on earth. And so what path he has shown is the right way to save humankind and life. Mentally show that thing, running charka, he showed that live thing, and that cloth on handloom. She has worked to get Chetapur nuclear power project cancelled, the Nana refinery. Before that, the people fought for opposing Guwahati refinery. She had gone there. She has gone to Tarapur people and realized that every household is suffering from cancer in Ucheri, Gevdi, Dandi and all surrounding villages. She is working for getting the Wadwad megaport cancelled. Half of Danu Taluka will be destroyed. And this is not now. Now this cannot be done when warming has become irreversible. When 2 degree rise has taken place. Everything which is going against her, against life should be stopped immediately. Now you see, I'm not just promoting my wife. You know why I'm telling you? Because people say, how we can do this? You can do this. Otherwise you will see your children. I am very sorry to say this. My daughter is there. See, this is the last generation on earth, last human generation. If you don't see in their eyes, they have to live. They have to live for their whole life, and we are going to get extinct within 30 years. Why you earn money? Why you provide all those material things to them? It is not necessary. They want life. It is a shocking thing that people know nothing about this thing. They are just guessing. They are just imagining that after lockdown will get over, we'll go start our shopping, driving, going to malls, purchasing many things, and have an affluent life. No, this is wrong. It doesn't permit this thing. You see, the Lorry Baker Center, Thiruvananthapuram. Lorry Baker was a disciple of Mahatma Gandhi. He has built a center over there. We have organized one camp in January of a week, and you see our Suyog Dikshit volunteer is standing in front of that mud structure. Show another picture. Pinto. You see beautiful things are prepared by them out of bamboo. You can see. We will be having this. We were not able to organize this camp in Danu and many areas in April, May because of lockdown. We hope that lockdown will be lifted, removed, and we will be able in Diwali vacations to hold camp at Danu. We are preparing for that. You see the houses built by mud. See, I have myself built one house out of jaggery and lime, using jaggery and lime with bricks in Chandigarh village at Danu, near bank of Danu Creek, which is totally converted into ash pond, and hot water is discharged every second by thermal power station supplying electricity to suburbs of Mumbai. You see, on that bank of that Danu Creek, we have manufactured this house with lime and jaggery. No cement, no glass, no steel, nothing. But I don't want to promote it, mud house, but I don't want to promote it because jaggery is meant as a food and lime is to be boiled. So we don't want to go for that. We will go only for mud houses. See, those who have joined the camp at Thiruvananthapuram, Lorry Baker Center. Lorry Baker himself was a gold medalist like Albert Howard of England. But when he came in India, he met Mahatma Gandhi during 1942 Chodo Bharat Quit India movement. And he realized that it was a folly to go for cement structures, steel structures. And then he realized and he corrected himself and he started building mud houses. Excellent mud houses, controlling the temperature and giving pleasant feeling in that house. You see this participant, this bamboo trees. Everything is possible if you have the willpower. If you want to protect your children, if you love this earth, if you love butterflies, honeybees, you love elephants, you love fish, then you have to do this. Nothing difficult. Now is the Kerala houses. See the paddy field. See, this is the package of earth. Excellent paddy, excellent wheat, which was grown for thousands of years. But it is only possible if you go for mud houses, bamboo houses, as our ancestors had gone. Now you see the house. See the cement structures, cars and electricity and TV are not boon. This is a bane. And if you follow that, this industrial lifestyle and the whole life will be in vain. Now you see this structure in Kerala. They are living a healthy life, free of all diseases. Where, as the Bible said, in the beginning I said what Jesus has said. Same way, all the birds, animals, fish are healthy. They don't go to any hospitals or doctors. They are healthy. They are born healthy. Earth keeps them healthy. Only problem is with modern human beings, Homo sapiens. We were there for 10,000 years in farming era. We were there for 70 lakhs years as primitive human Homo sapien, and we were there for crores of years as apes. We were living healthy life without hospitals. Why people say that we need more and more hospitals? It is wrong. You change your way of living, you make it suitable with your, don't go against the nature system, and you will remain healthy. Nothing else is to be done. No hospitals, nothing. Now, you see, I will show you just one report. This is of 18 September. You won't see it, but listen here. This report is of World Health Organization of 12th of September. It is clearly saying that in next 5 years, 1 among 5 human beings on earth will suffer from cancer.
Hello?
1 among 5, and next to that, in 5 years, that means after 3 years, it will be 1 among 3 persons suffering from cancer. Of course, after 7-8 years, everybody will suffer from cancer in his lifetime.
Baba, 5 minutes will be.
You see, this is clear thing. Why the viruses have come? Because of the destruction. Why it has come? Because of the destruction in Congo, Ebola River Valley. The untouched mountains and forests were destroyed. Maybe with these experiments, maybe by one laboratory, that is also for conquering more and more mountains, more and more natural places, for running this wrong financial system. And you see, this cancer, this global warming threat of total annihilation, everything is because our lifestyle, industrial lifestyle, which has come on earth after the advent of automatic machine. Just I am happy and see you're listening to it, and for more than 1 hour I am delivering this lecture. I become emotional, but I take care that no word, no sentence is unscientific, and because without any documentary proof. Even Mr. Jason Dikunna had seen with me the Mine Creek, and he had realized that Bombay will get flooded before 20 years. And it happened because we were opposing Manavadi ceiling. We stopped that reclamation, removed certain part of that reclamation, removed copper dams, and he has also realized that Bombay is saved Why? Because Bandravali ceiling reclamation was stopped and some part was removed. We are not allowed them to fill that mine bay totally. See what is happening over, be careful and don't be shy in opposing development project. It is not development. It is working against our own 300 to 400 crore sales. We are made to work against our own existence by our education. Please correct ourselves. There is no time left. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Participation. What you say, ask me, what will happen to Mumbai? Very soon, Mumbai is going to face total submergence. Why? Because of this Coastal Road and Metro 3. Clearly, BKC Road submerged and this BKC reclamation and Bandravali ceiling was the main responsible cause for 22 July. Yes, the Coastal Road will submerge whole of Mumbai and many other areas. Lakhs of people.
See, there are some questions over here which have been given by participants. One is, it's a very scary fact that information which is given very factual. We need to work with like-minded organization. People are showing concern. Second is, in the name of development, each and every space is getting destroyed. So how do we people help in stopping the government in further destruction? Then we need to network with like-minded organizations. Plus, very information was enlightening, and Gandhiji has put forward, Earth has not provided enough, everyone's need, but not everyone's greed. Answer lies in wisdom. Do you think our planners of city or country in the name development that no knowledge or under political pressure? So basically, if you go to see, all these questions are coming because the development which is taking place, as Advocate Girish Raut already has given us the input. Sorry for the network issue which is there. I've already shared his number in the chat box and his email ID is there. You can get in touch with him. And before we could end, I would like to call upon our past Joint Secretary and current Executive Member, Anthony Dias, to give the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the Environment Forum, we wish to thank all participants for attending the webinar today. Special thanks to our speaker, Dr. Girish Raut, pioneer of Indian environment and savior of Mumbai. He explained with beautiful photographs, glimpse of Mumbai. The shores are reducing, mangroves declining, intertidal zones, harmful effects of coastal roadway. We have to prevent global degradation, and we have all to join together to work and save the global climate change and other things. Thanks to our BCS President, Advocate Rafael D'Souza. Special thanks to Mr. Bento Lobo, our Vice President in charge of membership and environment, who made all this happen today to hear beautiful speaker, that is Dr. Girish Raut. Thanks to VPs Robert D'Souza, Lawrence Fernandez, the POB members, Executive Committee, Alvin Furtado, our Treasurer, Vinod Narona, Secretary General, Annette D'Souza, the Joint Secretary, and a special thanks to the invited guest of the webinar, Archdiocese Office of Environment members, Joe Gonsalves and the team. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Over to Bento.
Thank you, Anthony, very much. And for all the good things you spoke. Thank you, Advocate. Advocate would like to give a last word.
I think the entire webinar was very enlightening. Mr. Girish Raut is a I think encyclopedia by itself on environment. Only thing is the time was limited. I hope sometimes people will get in touch with him and take his guidance, expertise. in understanding how in our houses we can be contributors for reducing global warming, because people who have participated, they are not industrialists, they are not decision makers, they are not they are activists, they are homemakers, they are professionals, and they are salaried people. How in their own homes, as a first step, they can start the process of reducing global warming. It is very scary that 0.2 degrees centigrade increase in the temperature per year, which would amount to 1 degree for every 5 years perhaps. And what he has told us, by 2030, perhaps the entire human life will come to an end. It is very, very scary. So we all need to contribute. Thanks for organizing this, and I think we come to the end of it. All of us going back with the thought that what I can do, what each of us can do in reducing global warming, rather than only thinking that government and the authorities should do about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Advocate. Good night, everyone.